Tim, and welcome to our channel. Today we discuss the proper usage and care of your Grand Seiko SBGM235. Now this is an automatic winding timepiece. By virtue of its case-back winding mass, it uses the kinetic energy of the wrist to energize the mainspring. But should the watch stop, you may wish to manually start the timepiece by turning the crown approximately 30 to 40 turns in a clockwise direction while the crown is flush to the case in its first position. Now, you will be able to start the watch after perhaps 4 dozen turns at most, and once the watch is running, you can set the primary time zone, the secondary time zone, the date, synchronized to a reference time, and the watch will continue to wind itself. But should you wish to wind the watch to its maximum power reserve of approximately 72 hours, simply continue turning the crown in a clockwise direction until you hear a subtle click or tick from within the watch. That is the bridle-style mainspring slipping by design. It does this to avoid accidental overwinding. So take heart, you cannot accidentally overwind the watch. Just listen for that subtle click or tick. That's your audible sign the watch is fully wound. There are a couple of different ways to set the watch, and because the watch does have 2 time zones, independently settable. One is a 24-hour that is single circuit hand, and the other is a local 12-hour hand that makes 2 circuits of the dial for each day. You can set these separately. The best way to do that is to first set the reference time zone, the 24-hour hand, the place where you are not. Now you can set both hands to the same time zone, but in general you're going to set them separately. Wait till the seconds hand is directly at 12 and then pull the crown out 2 to tenths. This is known as the setting position or stop seconds. So let's say it's 2 p.m. and 30 minutes where I am not. So I'm going to set that 24-hour hand first. That's the first thing I'm going to do. So 1400 is 2 p.m. Remember to turn past it. And then I'm going to set my minute hand 1 minute ahead, and against my online reference I'm going to look up an online atomic clock that is correct to that time zone that I'm referencing with the blue 24-hour hand, and I'm going to set to the next nearest minute because I'm going to wait for that online reference to catch up to the time I've set. I'll be at most 60 seconds ahead. You want to push the crown in carefully because you can accidentally jump the local hour hand if you do so while torquing or twisting the crown. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to set my local time zone, and I do that by pulling the crown out 1 to 10, not all the way is stop seconds. Here you can see I can set that local time zone, and the seconds hand continues to advance, the minute hand continues to keep time, the second time zone is independent. This doesn't interfere with the timekeeping of the watch. Now note how the local hour hand, the 12-hour hand, drives the date forward or backwards. This can be useful if you're crossing the international date line, and just remember, the 12-hour hand at center is coordinated with the date, so those two things go together. The 24-hour hand does not affect the date. So let's say where I am, it is just past 4 in the morning. So I'm going to set that, push the crown back in, and the minute is the same for your reference time zone and your local time zone. So you just set that hour hand, and now you can see it's just past 4 in the morning on the 24th where I am. And it is just past 2:30 in the afternoon at my reference time zone, so I can see both times simultaneously. There are several areas of handling restriction and caution that you should keep in mind while using your watch. Water, magnetism, and shock. Now this is a water-resistant watch to 30 meters, which in practical terms means surface water exposure only, no aggressive aquatics. However, leather, as featured on the strap, is a natural porous material that is never water-resistant. Therefore, you want to keep it remote from moisture and never immerse it in water. It's always important to dry the leather quickly should it become moist. Furthermore, you can help avoid accidental drowning. Keep the crown flush to the case. Don't attempt to set the watch. Don't attempt to wind the watch, not just while it's submerged, but even while it's just wet, as any water on the case can bypass the seal if the crown is employed while the watch is wet. The water can simply suck itself right through by capillary action and bypass the seals. Water in the watch is an expensive mistake. Moreover, water resistance of your watch is not a static feature. Over time, as lubricants age and seals degrade, your watch will be relatively less water resistant than when you first purchased it, and especially when it first left the factory. So it's important at a Grand Seiko authorized dealer to have your watch dry water tested annually, every 12 months. This is also a good time to have total condition and chronometric precision and performance checked to see if a total service is necessary. Another hazard is magnetism, which is ubiquitous and unseen. Static magnets such as those inside speakers, subwoofers, even the speakers of your laptop that you might not even think are there. They're ubiquitous in the closures of purses and wallets and refrigerator doors. Powerful electromagnets are created by your phone, computers, and wiring looms. Keep your watch remote from all of these, as the effect of magnetism on a mechanical watch is to alter the state of the ferrous or metallic hairspring at the center of the balance. That's the heartbeat of your watch, and a magnetized watch will run erratically, either very quickly or very slowly. But if you suspect due to erratic running that your watch may have become magnetized, take it to a Grand Seiko authorized center, generally a dealer. It doesn't have to be the factory or a factory service center. Any dealer will have specialized equipment to quickly and easily demagnetize your Grand Seiko. It's important to remember, however, while magnetism can be reversed quickly, sometimes concussion and shock can cause lasting damage. At a minimum, shock and vibration can alter the precision of your watch. Maximally, you can cause physical damage. The chipping or discharge of sapphires damage to the case, damage and stoppage of the movement. So keep your watch disused during concussive activities such as firearms marksmanship, batting, tennis or golf, or the riding of ATVs and mountain bikes. Finally, per Grand Seiko, every fine timepiece requires a comprehensive overhaul, and the recommended interval is 3 years. It's important to have your watch checked periodically, and your annual water test is an ideal time to have total condition, chronometric performance, and water resistance checked. Should service be necessary, perform exclusively with the Grand Seiko factory or authorized service centers, as these agencies solely have the trained personnel, specialized tools, and factory replacement parts to preserve the value of your watch as both instrument and as investment. Moreover, only these agencies are able to back all labor and parts invested with Grand Seiko factory service warranty. Finally, visit our website at govbergwatches.com and call, text, or email our experts who will walk you through every phase of the ownership and care of this or any Grand Seiko timepiece.